wake up in the middle of a spaceship. The area seems so desolate, with red sirens flaring around the ship, indicating that something has gone horribly wrong. You learn that this crashed spaceship is called the Penrose 512, with a crew of only two, an A. Young, Gestalt or human pilot, and Elster 512, a replica unit. The systems indicate that critical damage occurred to the spaceship's internals. After panning out, there's also a roll of tape that we now know as Elster, pick up. As we continue exploring the spaceship, we learn that the Penrose 512 is one spaceship among a large fleet of low-cost spaceships called the Penrose Project. These spaceships are dedicated to finding new worlds for the Yusan Nation, the totalitarian regime that is reigning over the solar system. We also find a bunker, presumably for the captain on the ship, with an eerily grotesque note on the ground. Walking more, we find a cryopod, locked with a pattern combination that we need to find on the ship. Signalis is a game incorporating puzzle mechanics, deep lore, and combat. While we don't have any time to go into practically any part of the combat mechanics, or too in-depth into the lore, the beginning of this game is something like I've never seen in other forms of media. Nowadays, video games throw you straight into the drama or main crux of a story. Most especially, horror games today focus on a cooperative rather than story aspect, with games like Lethal Company and R.E.P.O. taking the horror game scene. Signalis is an incredible breath of fresh air for the horror game genre, and the beginning of the game sets the tone, context, and situation of a story so well that I believe it to be one of the greatest openings of a fictional story ever. Okay, back to the game. We discover a decompression pod with what seems to be an exploration suit. The other one mysteriously vanished. To get this suit, we need an airlock key, demonstrating a key part of the game's main progression system. Now, to the head of the ship. We can see that the situation is truly dire. Snow everywhere, with red lights and modules indicating the inoperability of the ship. All that there is a photograph. Inspecting the photo closely, we can make out who is in the image. More importantly, we can see a pattern on the back, the pattern we need to open our cryogenesis pod. Rushing over there, we insert the code and open the pod. Only a broken airlock key is present. We can use the tape we found at the beginning to piece it back together. And we can use it to open the spacesuit and enter the planet we've crashed on. A large hole is the only thing present. With no other option in sight, you go to the bottom. A narrow passageway is present, and it seems like you need to crawl through it. Only red is at the end of the tunnel. A strange office space is now in your view, the nation's flag on the wall, banned books, and a light that is powered by, presumably, nothing. The entrance you took is no longer there, and all that is in front of you is a book, The King in Yellow. It calls to you, and you pick it up. I hope you understand how impactful and packed that beginning was. Most of the time, other games usually throw you into the preceding scene or some sort of contextual part for the main issue in the story. Like in Mario games, most of the time we get a cutscene that sets the precedent and reason why Mario is in the situation he's in. Super Mario Odyssey, for instance, shows Peach being captured by Bowser, and Mario's hat being ripped apart, illustrating the conflict of the story and a key aspect, Mario's hat. Or even in JRPGs like Persona 5, where we get a sense that we are thieves being chased by the police for some reason or another in the preceding cutscene. Most games are pretty clear about the direction of the story, and is simply the best way to capture the audience's attention and direct them to pursue a goal. Signalis, however, is different. We're thrown straight into a mystery, trying to find someone, Alina CO, with little context other than propaganda texts by a totalitarian government and a crash site. In its multiple scenes, it illustrates a sense of loneliness and eeriness. It creates hundreds of questions but answers none, and the gameplay is a great tool to motivate the players to explore with simple, well-thought-out puzzles that evaluate the essential parts of gameplay, other than killing, of course. The fun part about Signalis is that it never answers questions. With 4 endings, each subjective to the player's interpretation, the game never truly answers the outcome of your journey. A journey of hurt, tragedy, oppression, and betrayal. The beginning of Signalis is a perfect view into what this story will entail. It combines the deep power of viewer interpretation, the medium of video games itself, to progress the story, and an eerie tone that persists throughout the entire scene, to build the context and narrative that hooks its players the minute the beginning is over. If this game was at all interesting to you, I would encourage you to purchase the game. Although it is $20 on Steam, PlayStation, Switch, and Xbox, more often than not, it is on sale for 50%. This is the most indie of indie games there is, and I hope this short video essay can at least convince you to give this game a shot. Ponder this world, remember their promise, and be immersed in the game we call Signalis.